It was a chilly November evening in 1979 when 15-year-old Martin Allen vanished without a trace. The last time anyone saw him, he was walking down the polished steps of London's Earl's Court Underground station, his school bag slung over one shoulder, his hair neatly combed, his smile as bright as ever. He was just a boy heading to visit his brother after school. But that short journey, a simple train ride, would become one of Britain's most haunting mysteries. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Martin wasn't from wealth or fame. He was the son of Tom and Eileen Allen, a working-class couple who lived in a caretaker's flat within the grounds of Australia House, the Australian High Commission in London. Tom had served his country and earned a quiet respect from those around him. Their home was modest, filled with warmth and laughter, the kind of family where love was shown through small things. A packed lunch, a clean uniform, a father's wink before school. But on November 5th, that ordinary life fractured. Martin left his home around 3:50 p.m., telling his mother he was heading to his brother Bob's house in Holloway to drop off a few pounds for a family party. He promised to be home by 9. His mother smiled, told him to keep his coat zipped, and that was the last time she ever saw her son. When 9 o'clock came and went, the Allens grew restless. By midnight, fear crept in like a cold wind through an open window. The next morning, Tom went to the police. "He's a good boy," he said, his voice cracking. "He wouldn't just disappear." At first, the authorities treated it as a runaway case. London was full of missing teens then, and most came home within a day or two. But Martin wasn't like the others. He had no reason to run, no fights at home, no secret troubles, just a boy who never made it off the train. Witnesses began to emerge. A ticket collector remembered seeing Martin with an older man on the Piccadilly line, well-dressed, confident, his hand resting on the boy's shoulder in a way that made the collector uneasy. Another commuter swore she saw Martin looking anxious, glancing around as if he wanted to speak but couldn't. The man whispered something, and the boy fell silent. They got off together at Gloucester Road. After that, nothing. That detail haunted London. The image of a young boy being led away by a stranger in the underground tunnels became an urban nightmare. Police circulated sketches, posted flyers, knocked on doors. But in 1979, CCTV was rare, and leads evaporated as quickly as they appeared. As days turned into weeks, the Allen family's life became a vigil. Tom barely slept. Eileen sat by the phone, her hands trembling each time it rang. Neighbors brought food they couldn't eat, hope they couldn't hold. The newspapers picked up the story. Schoolboy vanishes on London Tube. People whispered theories in pubs and buses. Some said Martin had been abducted by a criminal network. Others whispered darker things. Things no parent should ever have to hear. Then came the first real clue. A man working at King's Cross Station reported seeing a boy matching Martin's description just days after the disappearance, once again with an older, fair-haired man. They were heading toward a platform bound for Europe. The boy looked pale and frightened. But by the time police arrived, the trail was cold. The case expanded. Interpol, the Australian authorities, even Scotland Yard's most seasoned detectives got involved. They searched hotels, hostels, and boarding houses. They drained parts of the Thames. But nothing. No body, no trace. It was as if the London Underground had swallowed him whole. Years later, whispers linked Martin's disappearance to something far more sinister. Allegations of high society abuse networks operating in the shadows of London's elite. Documents surfaced. Names were whispered. Powerful, untouchable names. Detectives who pursued those leads found themselves stonewalled. Evidence vanished. Files went missing. Tom Allen refused to let the story die. He gave interviews, held press conferences, and demanded accountability. "Someone knows what happened to my boy," he said, staring into the cameras, his voice shaking with anger and grief. And one day, the truth will come out. He was right, partly. In 2009, 3 decades after Martin's disappearance, police reopened the case under Operation Midland, investigating historical child abuse allegations tied to political figures. For a brief, painful moment, It seemed Martin's story might finally find justice. But the operation collapsed, its findings dismissed as inconclusive. Once again, the truth slipped into silence. Even so, hope never truly died, because sometimes justice doesn't come in headlines. It lives quietly, in remembrance. Every year, the Allen family still lights a candle for Martin. The flame flickers against the dark, fragile but unbroken. "He's out there somewhere," Eileen once said, her voice barely above a whisper. "And if he's gone, then he's still with us, in every train that passes, in every boy who comes home safe." And so the London Underground still hums with secrets. Commuters rush through its tunnels unaware that beneath their feet lies one of the city's most enduring mysteries. A question unanswered, a family still waiting. Because the truth doesn't disappear. It hides. It waits for the world to be ready to see it. And perhaps one day, someone will step off a train, look back, and remember a boy named Martin Allen, who never made it home. Because the worst kind of silence isn't in the tunnels below London. It's in the hearts of those who wait for answers that never come. If this story moved you, tell me in the comments what you think might have happened to Martin. And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life mysteries that deserve to be remembered. Because every story, no matter how cold, still carries the heat of truth.